Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Emilio with Let's Roll Characters, and today is day 29. Day 29. I got excited and I just knocked over all my stuff. But that's okay. This is a live recording, and this is just how we do it. Today, we are continuing the Gentlefist saga. The good guys just got word of Divinia's hideout. They found out where her and her forces have been holed up in the city, or maybe it's not holed up. Maybe it's a big, expansive area that they control right now. Today's prompt is the word castle, so I feel like that's just a perfect fit for that. I'm going to say that there is a section of Palanvra that is like the old city, and in that area there are actually several smaller castles that were owned by various lords or wealthy merchants at one point, nobles and such. And Divinia has actually taken over that entire kind of section, the old town of Palanvra. Little by little, and unbeknownst to most people, but is now in control of what are essentially is an old time fortress. It's a place that would have been able to be defended. It has its own interior walls. The city of Palanvra has grown beyond the old town, of course, and has expanded into the surrounding countryside. But that initial city is still, semi fortified, and so it's a location that Divinia can launch her attacks and defend her people as well. However, Tenazar and the paladins, Janward and the monks have now gotten this intel from our pirate spy, who yesterday found out where Divinia was hiding, following her back from the weapons ship to her base of operations, or at least gathering that intel. Let's see what we got today. We're so close to the end here, and I feel like today has to be sort of an important day, but the dice are really in charge, so we're going to start by rolling a d10 for Ancestry. It's a 1. I think I have rolled a Dragonborn Ancestry the last maybe 5 or 6 rolls, or like 4 of the last 6, something like that. And so, I think I'm going to have to resist the urge to have this be a Gentlefist, and yet another Gentlefist family member. But we'll start with that. A Dragonborn Ancestry. This creature's, or this this character's class is Wizard. A 12. Excellent. We have not done a Wizard yet. And I like that it fits kind of with the idea of castle. Wizards would be in their towers. It's not exactly the same thing, but it's sort of the same sense of fortification. Evokes like ideas of stone and towers and things like that. So interesting connection there with our theme for the day. Background, a D20. That's the one I dropped. Bear with me. A D20 for background is... A 17 is a spy. Oh, jeez. I swear, we roll criminal, spy, and paladin, like, off the charts in terms of frequency. Okay, but hey, that's what we're working with. It's a spy. D4 for gender is a 1. It's a male. It's a Dragonborn Ancestry wizard with a spy background who's a male. And... I don't want them to be yet another Gentlefist, although they might be interesting to keep filling out the family, but I'm kind of running out of space and ideas for them. So who is this Dragonborn Wizard spy, and how do they influence the rest of this story? Well, we've already had a couple sort of semi-spy characters who have been able to gather information, infiltrate different factions. I want something different here. I think it has to be an outsider. Okay, yeah. Okay, so in D&D 5th edition, right, or in D&D lore in general, there are sort of these different groups. I don't really know a ton of that lore, but there are these different kind of houses or groups that have power. One of them that comes to mind that I do know a little bit about is the Zhentarim. Zhentarim, so obviously I don't know that much. They are, my understanding is that they're a group that is sort of working in the shadows to gain control of various cities and things like that. That's a really vague description, but let's say, I don't want to use that same idea, but let's say there are outside forces that are watching what's happening in Palanvra, and so we've already talked about the surrounding area. There's an orcish fishing village. A bit farther out is another city. It's going to be Paul something. I'll have to think of that name another time. This is a city that is more so where Palanvar is the merchants, the trading. It's a very cosmopolitan place. This other city is it's more of a place of learning and religion, and there are wizards towers, and there are different temples and churches and things like that. It's more of a place where people go for the purpose of study. It's filled with acolytes. It's filled with would be Harry Potters trying to get their wands and things like that. It's a training ground for all of these folks, and so within that city there are of course different factions. One of those factions is a group of wizards who have recruited this dragonborn who was previously a spy. And I think what happened was that they were actually caught spying on this faction by one of the other groups, and they were turned to embrace the ways of wizardry, to become a student of magic, instead of kind of pursuing a spy or criminal lifestyle. All right, so that's a good start. Dragonborn from another city, part of a wizard faction, sent to Palanvra to kind of just get a sense of what the hell is going on here, and maybe get involved depending on the situation. So let's roll some ability scores. See what this person's good at. 46 straight down the line. Strength is a 15. Dexterity is an 11. Constitution, a 10. I'm really hoping for one of these stats to be super low. I want a good dump stat here, but let's see. Intelligence, it would not be good for that to be low for a wizard, and it's a 17. This is a very powerful wizard, at least at level 1. Potentially not a level 1 wizard at all. Wisdom is 16. Just give me a bad charisma roll here, please. And charisma is a 14. So apparently I can only roll extremely skilled and powerful characters. That probably explains why I crush Christian in our little competition every time when we do our real show. Take that, Christian. So this person is 15 strength, 11 dex, 10 constitution, 17 intelligence, 16 wisdom, 14 charisma. They're a powerhouse. I don't even know how they could have gotten caught as a spy if they're that skilled. I guess there are more powerful wizards, of course, especially if they're using magic, and this person wasn't originally a magic user. They could have easily kind of tricked them or captured them or enchanted them in some... Ooh. Oh, maybe they're charmed like semi-permanently. Yeah. They were a spy for another faction. They were went to investigate one of the wizard towers, and in that tower there was a trap, a complicated, well-laid magical trap that ensnares and then charms a person for an indefinite period of time, basically until the wizard chooses to release them, because it's not the wizard casting the spell. They've infused this trap with the magic in some way. So unless the wizard breaks the spell, or the trap, the object, whatever the thing is, the focus of this trap is broken, then they're free to go. Yeah, I think that's our character. They're going to Palanvra to learn more. And so what's going to happen to kind of continue the story is they go there and they get sucked into the chaos, the fighting, the drama, whatever this tension is that's going on. They're planning to report back to their group, but Divinia launches her big open attack and locks down the old town of Palanvra, fortifies the wall. She's got her weapons. She's got Grey Death free. She's got the Eviscerator and Slate on her side. And so she's ready to make her big move. And she has now officially kind of declared herself the leader of at least the old town of Palanvra, and is challenging anyone to confront her or try to stop her. And our Dragonborn wizard happened to be in Old Town at that time investigating, and is now sort of trapped behind enemy lines, but is potentially a huge ally for Tenazar and Janward because of their extremely skillful, extremely high level of skill. So if Tenazar and those folks can get in contact with this character, who we are going to name Rezclan, Rezclan Denthor.